Hello, Mantis Militia. How are you guys doing today? Today, Arc Raiders has dropped their next few months of a roadmap. So we're just going to get into this. This is going to give you all the information you need for the coming months of Arc Raiders. So first, what they say is, hello Raiders, 2026 is upon us and we're embarking on our first full year of Arc Raiders. Let's do this thing. I don't know if that pun was intended, but good job, Embark. When we launched in October, we gave you a rundown of our plans for the rest of 2025. We hope this got you excited about what was coming up and gave you a flavor of how much new content to expect. Since we're aiming to deliver a content update every month going forward, we want to keep you in the loop. As we head into 2026, we're excited to share our roadmap for the next 4 months. This will show you the types of new content to look forward to, new enemies, maps, conditions, or other changes. As you can expect, we're not going to offer all the specifics, but enough that you know where we're heading. Stick around. After escalation, there's even more to come. So as mentioned, they have titled this roadmap 4-month project Escalation, and I'm just going to run down every single month explaining just a brief rundown to let you guys know what to expect. Disclaimer, I'm not an expert on anything we're going to be talking about. I don't know. I don't have any insight on any of this. I'm just here to inform you guys, as well as myself. They have new matchmaking options for players level 40 and above. Now, for me, they could probably take this one of two ways. It's going to be either a more PvP orientated or PvE orientated, where things are going to be more difficult. That's what I assume, at least. I'm not 100% sure. Now, I'd imagine this matchmaking option is it's going to be an advanced. It's going to be people who are clearly, they know a little bit more about the game. And why I say it could be PvP or PvE orientated is I think it's pretty obvious that you're going to be up against people who are also 40 plus. So they're going to be, so other raiders are also going to be more experienced, have better guns that most likely then, and it's going to be a more challenging experience. But then they could also make the arcs more difficult, give them more health, more armor, make their scanning radius wider. It could go a bunch of different directions. Next, we have a new minor map condition, which the symbol shows a bird, and I don't know how much the symbols next to these things actually really mean. But then below that, you can see a new player project as well. And there's really no insight I can give on this. It's just, hey, new player project. Now we move into February, which they have subtitled Shrouded Sky, and there's a lot more in here than there was in January. So first up, we have a new map condition, which it looks like a little bit of a windy wisp looking thing. So maybe it's windy, I don't really know. Then we have a new arc threat. This is probably going to be another similar thing to the Hornet or the Wasp, just a little thing to make your life harder. Then another new player project, which has a Rooster Wind Majiggy on it. I don't really know what that could mean. Then we have a new Raider deck. Now, it doesn't say free Raider deck, so I'm not sure if this Raider deck is going to be free. All the Raider decks in the past have been, but they also specified with those other Raider decks that it was a free Raider deck. This one doesn't say free outright, so this could be a paid Raider deck. This would be our first paid Raider deck. Then a map update. That could be a lot of things. It just says map, so I don't know what map, or maybe it is more than one map, but something with a map that's getting an update. Not much more on that. Then our expedition window is also coming in February, and I did not participate in the first expedition window just because I wasn't quite at that level yet. Now I'm kind of getting up there. I'm actually on page 2 of it right now, but there's only 30 days left. So that expedition window will be coming about the last week of February if you guys want to participate. They have talked about making the expedition window more incentivizing and also making it so there's different criteria than there is right now. But we'll see if that changes by February or if that will be a later change. Now moving into March, which they have subtitled Flashpoint, we have another new map condition. And this is Lightning Bolt, but we already have a lightning map condition. So I'm not sure, and that's why I said I don't know if these symbols next to the titles actually mean anything, but there is that. Then the new arc threat, that is also just going to be another thing similar probably to a Hornet or a Wasp, just a little small thing that just is annoying, to be honest, but it's alright. I'll take a new arc any day, that's fine. And then we have another player project. This has a little bit of a satellite dish on it, like I said. I seriously don't know if these symbols mean anything. So I'm not going to dig too deep here, but there we go, another player project. And then a Scrappy update. And that I am excited for. This could be a lot of things. It could be it's not going to just be a simple nerf or buff to Scrappy. I don't think they would title it Scrappy Update if that's all it's going to be. You're either going to be able to upgrade Scrappy further, or maybe he gives more resources, different resources. I'm not sure, but it's not going to be just a nerf or a buff. Now when we move into April, the last month of what they have titled Escalation, we get into Riven Tides. We have a whole new map coming in April, which I am super excited for. I don't know if this screenshot behind this is actually the new map or not, but it doesn't look like Buried City, and I see sand, and Buried City is like known for the sand, but that doesn't look like Buried City, so I think that actually is the new map right there, at least a little teaser to it. And then a new large arc. Now this is also interesting. They have planned a lot for April, holy crap. So this really, I don't know what they mean by large arc. I'm sure somebody might know, but this could honestly, for me, it's going to be anywhere from a Rocketeer sized arc, maybe even up to a Queen or a Matriarch sized. Like, this really could be a lot of different things. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, going back to February and March where they both have a new arc threat, even that could be up to a Rocketeer or Bombardier sized arc. But the large arc, I'm not exactly sure if that means Queen Matriarch sized or just like a Bombardier Bastion type arc. But I guess we'll find out in April. There's a long wait till that, but it will come up fast. Then we have another new map condition, which just has a cloud with a lightning bolt. I'm going to ignore that part though, because this could be anything. And then next we have the expedition window again. So it looks like they're planning to have 2 months in between every expedition window, which I think is fair. Honestly, I would like maybe up to 3 months in between each window, but I think that for now, given what the resources are needed and what the expedition actually gives you in return, I feel like 2 months does work, but that all depends. They might change this based on what they change and update with the expedition later on. Now there is one more little prompt I'm going to read for you guys after this, but if you want to pause, take a screenshot, just take one more overview of this 4-month escalation roadmap, go ahead and do that now. Now this is just a little explanation of what the plan for escalation is and what their thoughts are behind it. So they say, the cold snap has passed, but its danger casts a long shadow. Now I actually want to stop real quick here because this is odd, and it's a good type of odd, but most games, when they have events, they just have the event and move forward with life. But with the cold snap event, they've actually incorporated it into the lore, it seems. So it actually is going to change our future, even though it was only like a 1 month, 1.5 month thing. Most games would have that event, move on, maybe have another event, but the previous event wouldn't change the future of anything else in the game. I find it really interesting that they have decided when they have an event, it's actually going to be lore integrated and put into the story, put into the lives of the raiders. I think that's really cool. I just want to highlight that real quick. I thought that was really cool. But next they say extreme weather will continue to test raiders as they scavenge the surface for the resources that keep Speranza running. Then they say the increased Ark presence continues to trouble Shani as the Rust Belt grows more overwhelmed, but no one holds all the pieces. The scale of the impending escalation remains unknown. Venture topside into an increasingly volatile Rust Belt and make sure you're prepared for what's to come. Keep a lookout, new content is just around the corner. See you topside, the Ark Raiders team. And they also just have a little disclaimer at the end that this roadmap is subject to change. Also, I forgot to mention before, right at the bottom here, they have little bonus things you could say of things that they don't really have timed out. It's just things that will release as time goes on. So they have new quests, new feats, trials, and events, new gameplay items, new cosmetics, and quality of life updates, and more after that even. So there's a lot coming in the next 4 months. I'm excited to see what they do. But anyway, that is going to be it for this escalation 4-month roadmap. I do think they're taking this in the right direction, at least for the most part. I know there's a lot of bugs in the game currently and other exploits, but I just bear with Embark as they try to flesh through all those. You know, they don't have the biggest team, but they're doing things right so far, I think. So I'm curious to see how hard things get in the future because, as they said in that little blurb that I just read, that the Ark presence is increasing, the Rust Belt grows more versatile and hostile. Whatever they end up doing, I hope it'll entertain us as a player base. And as I mentioned before, I don't actually know what almost any of these things mean. A new Ark threat could mean anything. A new map condition could mean anything. So if you want to be on this journey with me as I go through it, as you go through it, go ahead and like and subscribe. Also, if you want to see my arc journey so far, I have a really easy to watch compilation of my previous gameplay. So go ahead and watch that if you're interested, and I'll see you next time. Peace.